Alrighty, welcome everybody. Namaste to you all. My name is Ravi, and I'll be leading us on a short meditation journey today. Our topic is meditation as self-care. And self-care has been on my mind lately, so I wanted to share an opportunity for us to connect to ourselves in a deeper way. Perhaps we're going through certain stresses in life. Perhaps there are certain things on our mind, and perhaps we have ways of handling those things. What I've found to be important is shifting in and out of what I may be experiencing. What I've found important is the ability to disconnect, to reconnect to myself. We all have different ways of self-caring, of reconnecting to ourselves. Obviously, nature, living out here in Summit County is a wonderful blessing to us. Our friends, our family, perhaps if we're extroverted, perhaps a good book, or our hobbies if we're introverted. And of course, there are things like alcohol, media consumption in different forms, whether it's social media or the TV, which also work. Although at times these can develop into habits that can be less than productive. Sometimes we can get sucked into what we're consuming and forget to be producing positive for ourselves. I think that it's important to look at how our habits and our tendencies and what our comforts are, look at how those things can be both good or perhaps take away from us too. Perhaps there are feelings that we have which we don't connect to if we're watching too much television. Or perhaps there are parts of us that are forgotten if things become used as a form of consumption to avoid. There might be things in our lives that we can identify right off the bat, and there's no judgment in how we choose to cope. It's worked for a long time. But perhaps there are better ways of coping, so to speak, or managing how we feel day to day. And perhaps we could strive in producing positives in new ways. And so I offer to you meditation as a practice of caring for yourself in a deeply profound, meaningful, purposeful way, where the process of paying attention to ourselves directly, intentionally, compassionately, supportively, can be an enormous well of centering, connecting relief. And perhaps in our practice, in our personal practice of self-care on our own, if it's a nice hike or a snowshoe, if it's a nice cross-country ski, or another activity, we enter into a type of flow. We enter into a type of relaxed effort, a letting go that nourishes us as we do something. And that can be all the difference for reconnecting and feeling better. I want to offer meditation to you, this practice especially, as a way of getting all of that in a short, sweet period of time. So let's begin. We'll adjust our seat and let our sits bones ground. Let's get rooted where we're sitting. And try to make your spine as upright as comfortably possible. And let's begin by gently closing our eyes and breathing diaphragmatically. You may know this is one of my favorite techniques. It is one of the most basic breathing techniques. We were meant to breathe into our bellies. Sometimes, most times, perhaps we breathe into our chests. Breathing into your belly can be very grounding and supportive, and it engenders a sense of belonging and safety. So let's gently close our eyes and start breathing deep into our noses, down into our bellies, expanding. Exhaling out of our noses. As you inhale, let your belly expand first, then your chest. And let your belly be the last to collapse as you exhale. Keep inhaling and exhaling into your belly, noticing the sensations of your clothes pushing outwards. Notice on each exhale a little bit of lightness being created, a little bit of relaxation accumulating in the body. Continue breathing in and out of your belly, expanding. As you fill yourself up with this nourishing life force, and on every exhale, releasing tension. Continue breathing into your belly for another minute, taking note of the activity of the mind in a gentle, friendly way. There's no need to change what's happening in the mind. There's no need to intervene. There's no need to fix. Simply let your breath carry you as your mind continues. Allow it to relax with the help of the breath. Let's take 3 more deep breaths into our belly and let our diaphragms expand. Let your last breath be long and deep, and notice how at home you feel in your body. Diaphragmatic breathing is a simple, effective, foundational practice for further breath work and meditation. As you gently open your eyes, thank your diaphragm and your belly for supporting you, for being the center of your inner fire. The yoga tradition teaches that your inner fire is the center of immunity, something important during our times today. Breathing into your diaphragm also has the additional effect of fanning the flames of your immunity. At this point in time, we will do a short practice of letting the energy of your breath pool in your mind, collect and pool in your mind, and then drop down into your body, providing relief, healing, and nurturing support, which is at the core of self-care. This practice is similar to many of the breathing practices we've done in the past, where we guide the breath in our bodies. However, we'll be guiding it a much shorter distance, simply from the tip of your nose, from your nostrils, into the very center of your head, and then back out of your nose. This is specifically a prana dharana. Prana means breath or life force. Dharana is a concentrative practice. So the yoga tradition, dharana, is the sixth limb of yoga before dhyana, meditation, and the final samadhi, absorption. Because this concentration is based on the breath, it is called a prana dharana. Eventually we will move into dhyana, which is the effortless flow of relaxed focus onto the object of meditation. And perhaps, if we're lucky, we will attain samadhi, which is the precursor of enlightenment. So let's see. Let's gently close our eyes, reposition our bodies as we need to. Let's start by taking 3 deep breaths into our diaphragms, deeply nourishing our center. Gently watching the breath move. We'll now direct the breath from our nostrils into the center of our minds. And back out through our nostrils. Let this pathway become familiar to you. If you ever need a pick-me-up, or if you ever need some support to keep on keeping on, this pathway will nourish you and provide that which you need. Let your breaths be soft, diaphragm still expanding, but your focus gently, sweetly guiding the breath into the center of your skull. And back out of your nose on the exhale. Notice the presence of energy pooling in the center of your head. Let it collect for a little while, as you gently trace the breath and deposit its energy in and out. Notice a sense of lightness occurring in the mind as your directed prana or life force collects with your guidance and your intention. Notice an emanation of that energy slowly begin to pulsate in your mind with the breath. Let this pooled energy now start to flow down on your exhale, percolating through your body. Inhale the energy into the center of your mind where you're collecting it. Exhale the energy down into your body. Let the downward flow of energy penetrate the tension that you may be holding. Let it soothe the activity of the mind simultaneously. Let the body sigh with each downward flow. Trace the breath up from your nose into your head on your inhale. Trace it all the way down your body on your exhale. If the mind is distracting, try not to resist too much. Send that pool of collected energy into your mind towards your thoughts if necessary. Let the soothing, caring energy of prana melt into the locations where it's needed most. Let it be a gentle force of unconditional acceptance which embraces what simply exists now. Let what is now just be. That acceptance provided inherently by the breath, which is the inherent nature of prana, which is automatically available in the state of attention, of pure paying attention, deconstructs what is into its fundamental presence. breath can be your guide on that journey of letting be what is, so that in the state of acceptance, it is healed by the presence of nurturing self-care. Let's take a step back from the pool of energy in our minds. Let our breathing and focus come back to normal. And observe, simply observe, and notice the pool. Notice the qualities of its presence. Simply notice and watch what takes place around it in the form of thoughts and feelings. Step into that pool slowly, and let the light you've created envelop you. Slowly immerse yourself in the pool of intelligent, vibrant, nurturing energy. Continue noticing the breath provide this energy to you. See that the source of this energy is in the breath, and that you can be awash of it whenever you choose. Bring your hands up to heart center in Anjali Mudra. As a way to give thanks to your breath, to prana, to healing, life-giving energy. And make a resolution to yourself that you can go to the breath whenever you need to. That the breath can refine your attention and be a space of unconditional acceptance of what is, as a way of bringing peace during turmoil and relief during times of stress. You may bring your hands back down, and let's gently, before opening our eyes, check in with our bodies. Is there anywhere that tension lies towards which you can direct the breath? Let's take just 1 minute to fill that specific area in your body up with breath. And on your exhale, let that tension release. If it's even a particular area in your life where there's tension, you can send your breath and thus your pure, refined attention to it. If it's a particular feeling you've been struggling with, you can send your breath and your pure awareness to it. It will automatically start to declog and begin its natural release process, which your breath will facilitate and your awareness, your non-judgmental, non-rejecting, non-intervening awareness will create the space for healing to occur. We'll be working on these tools every Thursday. I invite you to join us for future meditation sessions. Let's bring our hands up to Anjali Mudra one more time. And we'll chant Om Shanti to end our meditation. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you everybody for joining me. I look forward to having you again next time. Namaste. Take care.